Hello, friends. Welcome to the Audiobooks Library channel. Are you tired of running in the endless circle of the rat race, working harder every day, yet feeling like financial freedom is slipping further away? Today, we dive into the life-changing wisdom of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, a book that shatters the myth that you need a high income to become rich and teaches you the secret of making money work for you. Here are the main points you'll learn from this summary. The rich do not work for money, they make money work for them. The critical difference between an asset and a liability. Why teaching financial literacy is more important than a high salary. How to mind your own business and build a column of assets. The importance of working to learn rather than working to earn. Imagine a young boy named Robert who grew up torn between two very different worlds. He had two fathers. One was his biological father, a highly educated man with a PhD who worked for the government but struggled with bills his entire life. This was his poor dad. The other was his best friend's father, a man who never finished the 8th grade but became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. This was his rich dad. Robert noticed early on that his poor dad would always say, "I can't afford it," shutting down his brain and accepting defeat. In contrast, his rich dad asked, "How can I afford it?" forcing his mind to find solutions and possibilities. As Robert grew, he realized that most people are trapped by two powerful emotions, fear and desire. Fear of not having money drives us to work hard at a job, and once we get a paycheck, desire tempts us to buy things that lose value. This cycle is the rat race. His rich dad taught him that to escape this trap, you must learn the language of money. He drew a simple diagram that changed everything. The difference between an asset and a liability. He explained that an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, like a business or an investment, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, like a luxury car or a mortgage on a house you can't afford. The poor dad focused on income, working harder for a raise, only to pay higher taxes and buy more liabilities. The rich dad focused on assets, slowly building a collection of investments that generated income even while he slept. The journey wasn't easy. It required Robert to unlearn everything society taught him. He learned that financial intelligence isn't about how much money you make, but how much money you keep. He realized that true security doesn't come from a job, but from owning assets. Instead of working for a secure paycheck, he decided to work to learn, mastering sales, understanding markets, and overcoming the fear of failure. He saw that while the poor work for money, the rich invent money by seeing opportunities others miss. By the end of his journey, Robert understood that wealth is not just cash, it is the freedom to choose how you spend your time on this earth. The moral of this story is that your greatest asset is not your bank account, but your mind. If you train it to see opportunities rather than obstacles, you can break free from the chains of financial struggle and build a legacy of freedom. Some important points we must keep in mind. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. Your mind is your greatest asset, so invest in your financial education constantly. It's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. That's all for today. Thank you, and please take great care of yourselves.